You've seen the claims online. That you can build a working gas mask with a soda bottle and a few things from the pet store. That you can protect yourself from one of the most dangerous chemicals you can legally buy. We built one, just to see. The results were not just bad, they were terrifying, and they prove why this is one DIY project you should never, ever try. I see them everywhere online. Videos and articles that promise you can MacGyver a gas mask out of a 2-liter bottle and some aquarium supplies. They make some pretty bold claims: protection from smoke, tear gas, all kinds of nasty stuff. And that got me thinking, what about the really bad stuff? Not just irritants, but chemicals that are genuinely, deeply dangerous. That brings me to this, muriatic acid. It's just the hardware store name for hydrochloric acid, and you can buy it pretty easily to clean concrete or manage a pool. And it is famously nasty stuff. The fumes it kicks off are no joke, they're corrosive, destructive, and the last thing you ever want to inhale. So, here's the big question: can a simple DIY mask, built from plans you find all over the internet, actually do anything against fumes this dangerous? I have a pretty good idea what the answer is, but we're going to find out for sure. We're building one and putting it to the test in a controlled way, so you don't have to. Before we start building, let's talk about what we're actually up against. Muriatic acid fumes, or HCl gas, aren't like smoke. Smoke is made of tiny solid particles. But the danger here is an invisible gas. When you open a bottle of this stuff, hydrogen chloride molecules escape and mix with moisture in the air, creating a corrosive vapor you can't even see. When that vapor gets into your body, it dissolves in the moisture in your nose, your throat, and your lungs, and turns right back into hydrochloric acid inside of you. This causes immediate, severe chemical burns to your respiratory system. We're talking a burning sensation, choking, and in a high enough dose, it can make your airway swell shut. It's incredibly serious. Now, a real, certified respirator rated for acid gas works in a completely different way. It uses special cartridges, usually color-coded yellow, filled with treated material. It's not just filtering particles. Inside that cartridge, a chemical reaction literally neutralizes the acid gas, turning it into harmless salt and water before it gets to you. It's a chemical defense, not just a screen. The activated charcoal used in a lot of these DIY designs is great for organic vapors, think paint fumes, but it's not designed to stop aggressive inorganic gases like HCl on its own. So, right off the bat, the science behind our DIY mask is looking sketchy. Can a little bit of charcoal and some basic additives really do the job of a sophisticated chemical neutralizer? Let's find out. Alright, time to build this thing. I've mashed together the most popular designs from a few different DIY gas mask tutorials. First up, the body of the mask, a standard 2-liter soda bottle. The idea is to cut it so it supposedly fits the shape of your face. I'm marking a line and then trying to create a curve that goes over the nose and under the chin. I'm using a sharp knife, and right away, you can see the challenge. This plastic is flimsy, and getting a clean, symmetrical cut is tough. Now for the most important part of any mask, the seal. If it leaks, it's not a mask, it's just something on your face. The edges of this plastic are sharp and definitely won't seal against skin. So, the plan calls for a gasket made of duct tape. I'm carefully wrapping the entire cut edge, folding it over to make a thicker, hopefully softer surface. I'm using a few layers, trying to build it up. This tape is supposed to be the only thing creating that airtight seal against my face. Next, the filter canister. This is the beating heart of the operation. Following the common designs, the filter goes in the bottle's neck. I've already drilled about a dozen little holes in the bottle cap. This is our air intake. Inside, we're making a layered filter. First, I'm cutting a circle out of an N95 dust mask and stuffing it into the neck. This is supposed to be a particulate layer. Of course, we know we're up against a gas, not dust, so this part is pretty much useless, but it's in the plans, so it's in the build. And now, for the chemical defense. The most common recipe is a mix of activated charcoal and soda lime. I've got my activated charcoal from an aquarium supply store. It's incredibly porous, giving it a huge surface area to trap molecules. The soda lime is a chemical mix that's used to absorb acidic gases. I'm mixing them at about a 2-to-1 ratio, charcoal to soda lime, and packing the whole concoction into a little pouch made from a handkerchief. This pouch gets shoved into the neck, right behind that N95 bit. The idea is that air has to pull through this mess before you can breathe it. Last, we need a way to wear it. I'm salvaging the elastic straps from the N95 mask we cut up. I'm just stapling them, as instructed, to the sides of the bottle. And, there it is. One DIY soda bottle gas mask. It looks absurd, it feels incredibly flimsy, and I have absolutely zero confidence this will work. But, it was built by the book. The internet's book, anyway. This is where we stop joking around. Let me be crystal clear, muriatic acid is no joke. The fumes can cause permanent damage, or worse. We are taking extreme precautions, and you should never, ever try to replicate this. Here's our setup, a big, clear, sealed chamber. Inside, I'm placing our freshly made DIY mask. On the other side, a small open beaker for the acid. So how do we know if it's working without, gassing someone? We're going to use an indicator. This is a strip of pH-sensitive paper made specifically to detect acid gas. In normal air, it's one color. If it sniffs even a tiny amount of acid vapor, it will change color instantly and dramatically. I'm placing one strip inside the main chamber, to show us when the fumes are present. And the second, all-important strip goes inside the DIY mask, right where a mouth would be. If the mask works, the strip inside should stay the same color. If it fails, that strip will change. How fast it changes will tell us everything. For my own safety, I'm doing this entire test in a well-ventilated area, wearing my own PPE. That means a full-face respirator with the proper yellow acid gas cartridges, heavy-duty chemical gloves, and a protective apron. I trust this gear. I do not trust our homemade contraption. The setup is ready. The mask and indicators are in place. All that's left is to add the acid. Okay, moment of truth. My professional respirator is on and sealed. Gloves are on. The chamber is sealed. Here we go. I'm pouring a little bit of muriatic acid into the beaker. And right away, you can see the air start to shimmer. Those are the fumes. Gaseous hydrogen chloride is filling the chamber. The indicator strip outside the mask is already changing color. We officially have a hot zone. Now all eyes are on the mask. The fumes are swirling all around it. That little strip of paper inside is the only thing that can tell us what's happening. We're watching, waiting. And there it is. It changed. Not in a few minutes. Not even in 30 seconds. It changed almost instantly. The second the fumes filled that chamber, the indicator inside the mask started turning. It was a catastrophic, immediate failure. There was no delay. The air inside that mask was just as toxic as the air outside. The seal was useless, the filter was useless. Any protection it offered was pure fantasy. The result is instant and undeniable. And honestly, even expecting it to fail, the speed is what's so chilling. Let's break down that spectacular failure. The indicator strip inside our DIY mask changed color at almost the exact same time as the one outside. That tells us the mask provided essentially zero protection from the muriatic acid fumes. So why did it fail so completely? It really boils down to two things. First, the seal. Or, the lack of one. Even with all that duct tape, making a perfect, gas-tight seal with a rigid, crinkly soda bottle is next to impossible. Any tiny gap around the nose or jaw becomes a freeway for contaminated air to rush right in. It might feel sealed, but against an invisible gas, it's not. Second, and this is the bigger problem, the filter was completely overwhelmed. Our little pouch of charcoal and soda lime never stood a chance. A professional acid gas cartridge is packed with a large amount of specially engineered material to provide enough contact time and chemical muscle to neutralize the incoming gas. Our homemade version was swamped in a fraction of a second. The fumes saturated the filter before it could do anything at all. So, let's go back to our big question: can a DIY mask made from a soda bottle protect you from muriatic acid fumes? The answer is a clear, absolute, resounding no. It's worse than just being ineffective, it's dangerously misleading. Trusting a device like this gives you a false sense of security. It might make you brave enough to enter a hazardous area, thinking you're safe. But as our test shows, you'd be breathing corrosive acid fumes almost immediately. The internet is an amazing place for clever projects. But when it comes to your safety, especially your lungs and your eyes, you cannot cut corners. There is no substitute for professionally designed, tested, and certified safety equipment. The full-face respirator I wore. It's built and rated for this exact scenario. It's what the pros use, and it's the only thing you should ever trust. Thanks for watching us test this dangerous myth. DIY is fantastic for building a bookshelf or fixing a faucet, but when it's about personal protective equipment, stick with the science and buy certified gear. Your life could literally depend on it. What other internet myths or DIY gadgets do you want to see us put to the test? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe in safe, scientific testing, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next experiment.